somehow it's already March. I struggled to keep this down to just 5 books. This was a difficult one. There were so many others that I kept putting on and off, but I need to be realistic, and 5 is a really good number for me. It allows me to usually read some more at the end of the month once I've finished my 5, but it also means that if I don't manage it, then I'm not too overwhelmed. So let's dive into the 5. The first one that I don't actually have a physical copy of is the second book in the, what is this series called? The Chaos Walking series. The Ask and the Answer, I believe, is the second book. Yes, I don't own a copy of it yet. I have been trying to see in charity shops and secondhand to get myself a copy of it because it's usually in there a lot and I can't find one. And I was trying not to buy it new. I may end up buying an ebook or an audiobook of this instead and then grabbing a secondhand copy physically for my shelves when I can. But I did really enjoy this first book in the series and I am buddy reading it along with Becca from the Comic Book Sanctum's buddy read along of it. We will be having a live show in the start of March, so keep your eyes open for that to talk about book 1. But yes, I enjoyed this and I'm really looking forward to diving into the Ask and the Answer. Then The Mask Falling by Samantha Shannon. This will be a reread for me, as I've mentioned with the other ones in the remade editions, the rewritten editions. I read them all the first time, but they have been rewritten, and so to make sure that I actually know what's going on in the correct order, I am rereading the rewrites before I then carry on with any of the rest of the series, and Dark Mirror comes out in March. I don't know if I'm getting it in March because I'm getting the Broken Binding edition and they are always very delayed, but regardless, I'm going to be reading The Mask Falling in this month so that I can get closer to reading book 5. I'm so excited. This series is about a young girl, Paige Mahoney. She has spiritual powers where she can project from herself and see other people's spirits and stuff. Bad explanation. She ends up captured because in this world having any type of these powers is illegal, and during the capturing, when she's being held in a prison, stuff goes down. Wow, I'm bad at describing this. This series is fantastic. It's sci-fi, fantasy, dystopian mix. So good. Then, I know nothing about this one. Daughter of Chaos by A.S. Webb. This is recommended to people who like Samantha Shannon. 12 gods demand the ultimate tribute. Food, treasure, even human sacrifice. I have no idea. That's a pretty end paper. This was one of my goals for a science fiction fantasy subscription books. One of my, I think it was my final one. And basically, I need more space on my TBR shelves, and hardbacks take up more room. So I'm reading one of my, that's what added this. I was like, I'm picking a hardback, and I was like, this will be the one. That's why that one was selected. So I also want to take part in Connie Reed's Her Story-a-thon. This is not going to be all of the prompts managed. I will leave her video link down below, so please do go check it out. But yes, I will not be doing all of them, but I feel like they fit the vibe, and that's what I'd like to read, and hey, it's fine. The first one I'm going to be reading is Alias, Grace by Margaret Atwood. This is also one of my books that's going to expire in 2025 and has to be unhauled if I don't read it, so I am nervous about this one. This is based on the true story of one of the most enigmatic and notorious women of the 1840s. That is all it tells me. Wonderful, that's helpful. This synopsis is the least helpful synopsis on the planet. I'm still not entirely sure what this is about, but it's set in the 1840s. A murderess, I don't know if she actually is one, I don't know if we're looking at her wrongful imprisonment or her correct imprisonment or why she did the murdering. Regardless, I am looking forward to reading some more Margaret Atwood. I've only read Handmaid's Tale and Testaments, so it would be good to read a few more from her. And this was actually published in the year I was born, and that is the entire reason I picked this up. But I feel like Margaret Atwood, given her usual topics and choices, is a very good choice for her story. And then a choice that just felt obvious. I was gifted this by Book Break, so thank you so much, folks. And this one is Warrior Queens and Quiet Revolutionaries by Kate Mosse. I have read 2 fiction works from Kate Mosse. There's drilling, there's alarms, there's reversing vehicles. I hate living where I live. The tagline is How Women Also Built the World We Love. So this is going to be about women from history, and I am totally down and here for that. It's got nearly 1,000 women, so plenty of different options. I think it's a perfect one for History Month. I think International Women's Day is in March? I don't know, I remember Men's Day's in November. But yes, so these are my History decisions. I forgot a book What? So I forgot that I'm going to be reading a Carpe, Jugulum by Terry Pratchett. This is the 23rd, I think, book in the Discworld series. I know nothing about what this is. Lanka! This is going to be a witches story. Oh, I love the witches. Pratchett's 23rd novel in the Discworld Chronicle, but the first to star vampires. Ooh, exciting! I love Discworld. I just forgot to get this off of my partner's shelves rather than my own, which is why this wasn't on the original stack. I'm still frustrated at myself, but I'm not going to refilm it. So you get makeup-free Abby with a Discworld. Back to your regularly scheduled viewing. Obviously one of these books is incorrect because I don't own it, but this is my stack for March. I think it's a good stack. I have a kind of reread. I have a middle grade / YA, depending on your thoughts. I have a fantasy that should be fun, a non-fiction, and one of my 10? Yes, 10 in 2025. I feel like this is a fairly decent stack. I'm hoping I will read more than just this, but also if I don't, I feel like this is a decent amount. Please do let me know if you've read any of these and which ones you would prioritise on your monthly TBR. I'm really looking forward to diving into them. Like I said, the link for the Herstory read-along, readathon will be down below in the description, so please do go check it out. There's some really interesting prompts in there that might get you to pick up some of the books that have been sat on your TBR for a little while, and hopefully I will get through all of these in March. Thank you so much for watching, folks, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!